It's time for Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock.
Fighting for here on Declare Your Independence with me, Ernest Hancock, here in Phoenix, Arizona. Hey, how about some truth, justice, and whatever used to be that American way thing? We're on with Dylan Reeves. He's an attorney in Alabama, and with this case that was going on before the Supreme Court, he decided to write about it, and we have it on today's archive. You go to freedomsphoenix.com, freedom with an S, freedomsphoenix.com, and you'll see today's show. And Tort Liability for Manufacturers of Violent Video Games, a situational discussion of the Causation Calamity. Okay. Now, what is obviously with a title like that, what you're opening up and giving as a concept to other attorneys is that there's an avenue by which you can hold manufacturers, and we went down this line before, it's like tobacco or gun manufacturers, this idea that by you creating something, you're causing some kind of damage of individuals and or society. And I'm going, okay, so what's the damage that you're advocating here?
What my article gets into is that manufacturers may have a duty to control how far they take these video games when they know or they have good reason to know that a third party intends to misuse them. And let me be clear, I distinguish between two types of video games. There are those video games that are nothing more than animated, gory shooting galleries. But then you have games which become simulators, and one prominent game is called Rape-A-Lay. And you can create your environment, create your victim, stalk her out, and pretty much anything you can do in real life, you can do to this computerized image of a woman. And what you have here are these simulators, and when you can use those to train, then the manufacturer should be on notice that they could be used to do harm to third parties.
Okay, now this is my you're making my point here, is I'm going, all right, right now, this rape-away video game stalking whatever, that is in the marketplace, right?
It is.
Okay. You can understand why my first question would be, how is it that it's legal and protected speech and all this other, what kind of sick society is that is legal, but consensual sex or Sin City or Sim City with Sin or whatever out doing Avatar, sexual, heck, you even have Team America with puppets. They give an NC-17 because puppets are engaging too much. And I'm going, there is something else behind this. I need to understand what it is you are up against when you make these arguments. And as a manufacturer, I would come back like, you know what? I'd have absolutely no problem taking it away from, rape game, whatever the heck, to actually, I get me some TNA 17-year-old here you can score game. Oh, no. That's not legal. So I need to understand the criteria. You can talk about all this other stuff, blah, 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 blah. I need to know why that exists now anyway.
Call it tyranny of the majority, if you will, whereas pornography seems to have greater restrictions because it's more offensive to a broader base of people. You have consumers who love these violent video games.
Yeah, you see, this is my point. It's a cultural thing. You're saying, well, it's been that way, it's always been that way, it's that way. And I'm going, is it so bad that we have, I'll give you an example. You go on cable and you'll have a program called Sons of Guns, all right? And it's a gun manufacturer that's customized, do whatever, make it all blow up and bang, bang, bang and whatever and cool, and I watch it whenever there's absolutely nothing else and I don't care. So I'm going, all right, it's cool, machining and everything. Well, who sponsors that program? Be all you can be, U.S. Army. Okay, and he's always making these great, look how we, just last night or night before, he's talking about this semi-automatic grenade launcher used for crowd control. Here, we know some sheriff department want that. Ooh, we're going to have some civil unrest, man, them damn hippies going to be blown away. And I'm going, This is, wow. Where did we go in a culture that it seems like there was a conscious decision made, and that would be what I would be much more interested in looking at, as opposed to you have to be held responsible for the content of this violence that you put into these video games that will affect a young mind, rather than I'm looking for even a deeper reasoning. Why is it that this kind of speech is protected, but sexual, voluntary, pleasurable content is not? There's something sick behind that. You understand my point?
I wouldn't say that as much as it is the law lags far behind advances in technology. For a case to go from the lowest trial level court, the Supreme Court of the United States, can take a matter of years. And there was a point in time to where in the early 80s, late 70s, that violent or video games in general were not considered protected, that they weren't speech. They were pinball games that merely buzzed and spoke small sentences to the players. But now you have games that have evolved out into all-out warfare and are very realistic, and the law hasn't caught up to that.
You know what? You're saying pornography hadn't been around long enough? I mean, is that what your argument is?
Well, pornography is restricted speech.
You're going to get this out of me all day, man. I just say, okay, why? But violence is not. See, I'm looking for a deeper, while your argument is, and we've hit this issue from many different standpoints, and I am interested in your argument. It's thick. It's multiple pages here. What am I looking at? 20 pages here of the article that you did, and I would imagine that you're focusing on how because we've done this kind of stuff as activists before. Heck, we file lawsuits just so we can get paper the record with all kinds of case law so we make an argument as a research tool for others to do it. And gun legislation, all kinds of stuff. We're like, ooh, you guys want to, we'll do some homework for you and put it in the public record. Well, here you've done that. You have set down an argument step by step. And I'm sure it can be, and by the way, when you want to be have standing and your kid and whatever, call my law firm, here we go. And I can see in here the argument for making that these games have a society and an individual damage. I understand that argument. My thing is that while I'm not for doing away with the First Amendment, I'm for, hey, man, that's parenting that's called the parent's job. But you're not going to ever, ever, ever get away from the comparison to other protected speech. And I'm going, okay, if this is protected, why isn't this? And if you don't get to that core reason, you will always have that question from hosts like me, from justices, from anyone else is going, okay, why? What is the base reason this is protected and this isn't? Now, with that understanding, when we come back from this next break, I pinky swear I'll give you an opportunity to make your full case that you did in the Alabama Board of, the lawyer, here we are, people. And I go, all right. I want to hear the argument that you're making. Look, there is a method by which you can go to the courts and seek damages from these manufacturers because they did something. What did they do? What should they have known what they did? What impact it has? Is it because it's okay because it makes little young boys want to go kill and join the army? Is it that simple? Is that what we're up against?